In this episode of The Daily Dish, which comes a day late after some conflicts yesterday, news that the two expansion MLS teams will be coming to FIFA 15. A show is being produced that will be watched within NBA 2K15, and badges for players in the game are detailed. The latest roster update for Madden NFL 15 is out, so I highlight some of the risers and fallers. Meanwhile, no changes were made to the status of Adrian Peterson, Greg Hardy, and Jonathan Dwyer, bringing into question consistency after EA stripped Ray Rice out of the game last week. Major League Soccer expansion teams Orlando City SC and New York City FC will be added to FIFA 15 in a November update. This is interesting for a few reasons. EA did once in the past add an expansion team when FIFA 11 brought in the Vancouver Whitecaps. At that same time, the Portland Timbers, for whatever reason, were left out of it. Maybe the close relationship that the EA Canada studio has to the Whitecaps franchise as they develop the game right next door to Vancouver was a factor. The team was patched in when March rolled around for the new MLS season. Orlando and New York City, however, will be added in November, right as the current MLS season is coming to a close. What players will make up the rosters is the big question, since the expansion draft isn't scheduled to take place until December 10th. Right now, New York City has only 6 players under contract. Orlando has 9. Maybe the jerseys are being added in the update to prepare for when the squads are built, rather than having to wait until after that point to add them in. A couple of updates on NBA 2K15 as its release is now just over 2 weeks away. A few days ago, 2K announced the game will utilize Kinect and PS4 camera for scanning user faces as a MyPlayer. Now the company has revealed a weekly show that will be watched through the game, and all the badges players will have or can acquire. 2KTV will be broadcast weekly and accessible through the main menu on Xbox One, PS4, and PC. The idea is to present a show which taps into community interests with things like developer interviews, player interviews, gameplay highlights, and more, and tie it all into 2K15 in a way that capitalizes on both the culture of the sport and that surrounding the NBA 2K series. It's not so much a game feature, but maybe people will enjoy the content that's offered, as long as it doesn't increase the load on already consistently unstable servers. Moving to a feature that affects gameplay. Badges will replace what have been known as signature skills. I've always been a fan of the concept of player traits or unique skills that help to define them more than just basic attributes. Every player is different in how they perform on the court, how they react to particular situations, or how they affect the players around them. That's what badges will attempt to deliver for those who already have them, or when building through my career. There are currently 77 different badges affecting personality, emotion, and performance. Currently, LeBron James has the most in the league with 47 of them. Some conflict, so the absolute maximum a player could ever have is 70. A few examples include Road Dog, which helps a player perform better in road games. Spark Plug, which provides energy to teammates. Defensive Anchor, as someone who makes their teammates better defensively just by being on the floor. Microwave, who's someone who gets hot after making a couple shots. And Scrapper, who's someone adept at getting to loose balls. I believe Operation Sports now has the full list of badges, so head over there to check them out if interested. It does seem like they've avoided creating any badge that would be seen as a negative to a player, unlike Madden, which has some traits that aren't flattering. Regardless, it'll be interesting to see what 2K has given to particular guys and whether they update the players with badge changes throughout the season. EA Sports deserves some scrutiny over the decision to remove Ray Rice from Madden NFL 15 but leave in Adrian Peterson, Greg Hardy, and Jonathan Dwyer. The company made what now looks to be simply a PR-related move with Rice, and they're not being consistent with it in other cases. Their handling of Rice was extreme, and many felt justified. They pulled him out of the roster completely, though due to some sort of glitch he appears in new connected franchises as a free agent the CPU awkwardly signs, and took him out of packs and Ultimate Team. They then went even further and removed his picture and name from Ultimate Team, so those who already had him now just have Baltimore halfback. So it was reasonable to think they'd do the same with Peterson, Hardy, and Dwyer. But apparently EA only cares if there's video. Maybe Roger Goodell is making the decision here. The acts of these individuals were just as bad, if not sadly worse. What Peterson did isn't even being contested. What Hardy did, he's already been convicted for. These players aren't on the active rosters for their respective teams. Peterson is unlikely to be back at all this season. Hardy would need to be acquitted in his jury trial appeal, which wouldn't happen until late November. And Dwyer probably isn't good enough for a team to bother with. You can split hairs and say the circumstances between Rice and the others are different, but there had been no precedent from EA to act in the manner they did with him other than Aaron Hernandez. Suspended players have never been pulled from Madden like that. Rice even is going through the appeals process now since he was seemingly punished twice for the same incident. He could be reinstated in the near future. It's just really curious and a bad look for EA that they would seemingly single him out but take no action on these three. The post-Week 2 roster update for Madden NFL 15 is out now for all 4 systems. Some of the biggest beneficiaries include Robert Quinn, Des Bryant, Michael Bennett, Antonio Gates, Darren Sproles, Chandler Jones, Mike Daniels, Mario Addison, and Niles Paul. Among those that take a hit this time around are Cameron Wake, Matt Forte, Patrick Peterson, Joe Hayden, Cam Chancellor, Ben Roethlisberger, Colin Kaepernick, Matthew Stafford, Trent Richardson, and Matt Khalil. Head over to pastapadre.com for the full recap and link to the document that lists out every single change made in the latest Madden NFL 15 roster update. Don't miss the Press Row Hangout, which will be held live tonight. But if you do, it'll be archived to watch later at your convenience. You can find it on my YouTube page or posted to pastapadre.com on Monday. It's a big week ahead with the release of FIFA, so expect live streams and content on the game. Visit pastapadre.com for all the latest sports gaming news and content. Follow me on Twitter at pastapadre and subscribe on YouTube. I'll be back Monday with the next Daily Dish.